All right, I guess we should get started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are, and welcome to our episode 10 of the ActifIt Health and Fitness Show. We're quite excited to have you guys all joining in. Shadows, are we good for the recording?
You're recording.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Hello, Rabia, Blue Angel. I'm seeing some new faces, old faces in here. I can see Batman, you're on time, Twitterer, probably the first time you're in here. I think you joined ActifIt recently, so we're happy to have you. And our usual suspects are all here. Quite happy to see everyone is here. Of course, Batman is never late. All right, you guys. So can everyone hear me okay? Is there any problem with my voice, my sound quality? Okay, fantastic. Thank you. All right, so for today's show, we're going to actually be, as always, giving some ActifIt updates for you guys. We will have our main guest would be Coruscate, who is part of the Steam onboarding team. Actually, she's a co-founder. She's a committed Steamian, a DTuber, a singer, a ukulele player, a healthy lifestyle enthusiast. She does so many things that it's difficult to count. So yeah, hopefully she's going to be joining us in a few. She has actually a work meeting that she's finalizing in a few minutes. So yeah, she's going to be joining us shortly. And of course, we will have the usual giveaways for the listeners. I might as well be just give them out to our usual winners. But we'll see if someone will beat you guys. I mean, I'm talking to Blue Angel, Virginie, and Simcar, our usual winners. So we'll see about that tonight. Okay, first of all, about ActifIt. Most of you here already know what ActifIt is. ActifIt is our own project to incentivize a healthy lifestyle, to reward your everyday activity. If anyone is tuning in from or watching the recording, this is what ActifIt is. It's our vision and our mission to change the world and improve it, to give you guys the tool and the incentive to really move more and be more active, live healthier, and get rewarded just for that. So in terms of last week, we did have a lot of work. Today we sent out an official announcement about some of the things that we wanted to announce for a while. And let me share the link just now. There you go. Okay. So part of our announcement and included the winners of the block trades Steam onboarding ActifIt video tutorial. We've had a fierce competition. We did get a lot of submissions, fantastic videos, and thank you for everyone who took part in this. Thanks for Steam onboarding who prepared this initiative, and for block trades for supporting that. And if you saw the post, you would know the winner was actually Ash TV. If you didn't, now you know. And they're going to be actually winning 3 block trades full upvotes, and that's a big upvote coming from block trades, as well as 1,000 ActifIt tokens. As a sign of attribution to everyone who participated, and as a thank you, I mean, everyone did a wonderful job. We will be giving out to every participant 100 ActifIt tokens on top of, I mean, as a giveaway, as an additional reward for doing the lovely work that you guys did. Those videos, we believe, will help us to further promote ActifIt. We will be using those via our social media, just sending out the messages about ActifIt and maybe doing some more promotion just to bring the idea to the masses. So that's one thing. The other thing that's been running for a while is actually the ActifIt Mentor Program, and we've been trying to bring mentors, and we already have, I think last time Rosa updated me, 10 mentors. who joined on board. I think this increased since yesterday or the day before. And the mentorship program is our gives us and you guys the opportunity to grow and get rewarded more. To grow by bringing new Actifitters, and I know for a fact several people who are already bringing new users to Actifit. And for every new user you're actually bringing who does at least 10 activity reports for the first month, you will actually be winning 5 Steam. And the more people you bring, the higher the reward, because towards the 10th user, you will be actually getting more than 10 Steam, more than 5 Steam for reward per new user. So yeah, we're excited to see people joining in and taking part and bringing new people just to Actifit, and yeah. All right, Kurski just told me she's going to be joining right now. She just finished her call, so that's great. Another thing that some of you already noticed, and we haven't officially announced it yet, is yesterday we actually finished the coding for the integration with Steam Engine, whereby now if you go to your actifit.io/wallet, you would actually see your balance of AFIT token which were bought during the ISO, or if you bought anything later down the road, as we still have the opportunity open to buy AFIT tokens. So if you did, you can actually see those on the wallet, but even more importantly, you can even move those tokens from the Steam Engine platform to the standard AFIT Actifit wallet. So that you can benefit from having those tokens in the actifit.io wallet and increase your user rank if you are eligible at the current rank you are. So yeah, this is an opportunity, and we were happy to be able to deliver this. We will make an announcement officially, hopefully tomorrow, about this functionality, but we're happy to make it happen. And this is part of Actifit being able to support different protocols. And we will probably have something similar down the road with ERC20 tokens as we launch those, but this is, of course, a longer term plan. We always have our Facebook competition running. We had announced a new one for this week. Let me see, do I have a link to that? I think I have it somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Okay, copy. So if anyone hasn't participated yet, oh, thank you, Katerina. Yeah, I was actually referring to the poll itself. Let me see. Yeah, this one, I guess. So if I'm not mistaken, so this one is actually the poll that is running right now. It's the question that if you answer, you will actually earn more rewards. And I think if you tag people, if you re-steam, I forgot what was the term on Facebook actually. If you share, yeah, we're just too used to re-steaming. So yeah, if you share, if you mention people, you actually get AFIT rewards. So yeah, this is running, and you still have a couple more days to join in on that competition. So if you haven't, you can do that. And next week we'll have another one. So thanks to Katerina and Alfamano for preparing that. Yeah, absolutely, Katerina. Run. And I see Korske just joined us here on this code. Hey.
Can you hear me?
Fantastically.
Oh, perfect, good.
All right, I'm just about to finalize the updates we're just giving out some Actifit updates, and I'll be able to start off our chat with you in a second.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay, so the last, I think, on our side of the updates, we did create our official crowd-in account for Actifit, and anyone who wants to join in on the translation, they can do that. They can just join the project and start the translation. And like we said, we want to reward you guys for this effort. And if you use DaVinci translation alongside with, you can also get rewarded for this. So yeah, feel free to check it out and yeah, help us just bring ActiveIt across all different languages available. So yeah, that's on our list. So yeah, I did talk a little bit more than 10 minutes. That was in anticipation for Leah Koruskate to join us. Sumit, yeah, nice having you. So without further ado, and just to take a breather from me talking too much, we are so excited to have Koruskate joining us on the radio show. She's known as Miss Steam Onboarding, the co-founder of that amazing project, a committed Steamian, a DTuber, to my surprise, a singer and ukulele player, a healthy lifestyle enthusiast, among so many things she does. We're just so happy to have you tonight. Leah, tell us a little bit more about yourself, and we're just so happy to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, so let's see. I joined Steam back in 2017, and like you kind of mentioned, I post about a lot of different things, which is actually one of the things I kind of love about Steam is I feel like in more traditional social media, it's like you pick a niche and that's what you post about. And I feel like on Steam, there's such a cool community to where people like really want to get to know you, like for you. And so when I first started, I was posting more niche kind of stuff. And then I was like, well, I guess I could expand here. And well, I guess I could try this and I could try that. And it's been kind of a fun journey to just be able to like explore different topics and different types of content and get to connect with people in different ways.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah. Posting about like fitness is actually something I've been doing a little bit more lately because it's a little bit more top of mind for me. I've been experimenting a little bit more with like fasting and eating. Like I went mostly like gluten-free and then I went lectin-free. And I've just been kind of in this like mode of experimenting a little bit with health related stuff. So it's been kind of fun to start using ActifitApr more and different things like that as well. Although I have to say, I still have a secondary account where I post my ActifitApr posts, and I went on vacation and I took a little break from it, and then I've been forgetting the last few days. So if you guys look at it, it doesn't look the best right now, but usually I'm really good.
No problem, no problem. I mean, we just love having you and your secret alt account.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Leah, we're gonna jump into all these areas, and I was really happy and fascinated to see you talking about fasting and all these aspects. So we'll tackle those in a minute. So you joined Steam back in 2017. How did you actually come to know about Steam? Why? What? How? Where? Why did you learn about Steam?
I know that's always the fun question, right? When you're like, okay, like how do people find out? So
Yeah.
my boyfriend is like a super tech crypto. You should really invest in crypto, and I was like, yeah, okay, like I'll check into it. And then I never really did much with it. And then he ran across Steam, and he was like, hey, I think that like you might really like this. And I was like hooked immediately because I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like this is, and for me, it wasn't even about the fact that it was really crypto. It was just more like, oh, here's this like cool platform where I see people engaging on like a deeper level than I do on other platforms, and it felt like a safer space to put myself out there, if that makes sense. Like versus being like on like my like Facebook page or something where it's like all the people I went to high school with and all my coworkers, and I was like, okay, here's this space where I can kind of experiment with sharing more of myself in like more of a public way, and then like the fact that you could earn crypto, I was like, that's really cool too, and this is super intriguing, and it just the whole thing, like the whole package of it was just very, very interesting to me, and it felt a lot more approachable than just general like, oh, invest in crypto is like this massive topic, especially once you start looking at, you know, how many coins there are and how to deal with exchanges, and there's just so many complicated factors that when I was like, oh, I can post ukulele videos, cool. Like this feels like this feels more approachable. And then it's kind of funny because now I almost call Steam like the gateway drug to crypto because it was for me. you know, um, where now now that I've been here for a few years, I'm like, I know way more about the whole crypto space and about how to use those exchanges and what different things mean. And like now I feel like you're not like very educated, but much more educated in the space where if I hadn't started in more of like a general user kind of space, I don't know if I would have ever taken the time to get there.
Yeah, and like the progress you make, it's not like I mean, you don't feel like you're making a progress, but you are. You're just seamlessly jumping into all the different details and you're loving it. So the experience is fun, and even though there are many different details combined, I mean, the keys and all the stuff, the technical mumbo jumbo, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like it's too difficult once you're into Steam. You're just it's a seamless experience, right?
Yeah, and I think honestly for me, part of what helped was having someone right there that was more technical. That if I was like, "Hey, what are these keys? What's this?" Like, someone could kind of
Yeah.
answer my questions, and so
Mhm.
that's kind of where I think that something like Steam onboarding, or there's other people that have these great discords, like there's where they help newbies out, like there's the like hey have you met group, and there's obviously the like minnow support, and there's like so many groups that where people can go in and ask questions. And I think
Absolutely.
feeling like you have a resource that is approachable is really important, right? Because like I felt like I had that in person, which was nice, but if I was just joining and I didn't have that, like I would be stoked to find a resource that broke things down in a way that simplified it really, all the way down to the basics, or to join a server where like I could ask questions and have people help. And that's another thing I think that's great about Steam is people are generally like very helpful, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's, because I think that what's kind of cool about the having ownership of the space is you feel like you want it to succeed. Like no matter how big or small your stake is, you feel like you see the potential and where it could go. And so I think a lot of people feel motivated to want to help new users to get on board, because that means it helps us all, right? Like mass adoption for everything, and then your coin goes up, and so it's kind of this like joint ownership feeling that I think contributes to people being helpful.
It does, absolutely. And I get that. I mean, I feel that whether on Steam or with ActiveIt, I mean, yeah, it does. It does. So basically, to help people, this is why you came up alongside a Nomad Soul, who was actually our guest a few weeks back. You guys came up with the concept of Steam onboarding. So tell us a bit more about Steam onboarding.
Yeah, definitely. So our whole kind of mission is to be able to explain Steam and explain crypto to your grandma. Like you'd be able to, really like be able to help onboard people that you know. Because one of the big barriers to entry, or barriers, I should say, to inviting people I know was
Mm-hmm.
it's just so much time, where they're like when you feel like you know people that would probably do really well on Steam and would really enjoy it. Maybe they're super active and they would like using ActifIt, or they are a musician and they would love joining the open mic contest every week, or like we all know people that we can think of that would probably really enjoy Steam. But when you think about like the time it takes to onboard them, like, oh, let me help you set up an account, let me explain the keys, oh, here's how you post, here's markdown, here's this, like it's just I just wouldn't end up like doing it, because it would just take hours of my time, and then they would like stick around for a couple of posts and then not do anything with it. You know what I mean?
If you're lucky, they would write those two posts.
Yeah, they don't even ever make their post, their welcome post, and it's like, right? And so we wanted to make a resource where you could literally just send someone a link. Like if they're like, oh, what's that? And you'd be like, hey, here's this website. It really breaks things down. I'm happy to help you out and answer any questions, but it just kind of takes that pressure off of you, where they, if they're actually interested, can spend some of their own time to research versus, like you feeling like you have to spend hours. So we're hoping, obviously we're still developing the site. We have the first module up. We're live now, but we want to have account creation on there. We're obviously, like the contest we just did together, we want to have a whole breadth of like videos for different dApps. So it will be more robust as we continue to build. But our vision is that when people find out about Steam, they'll have a resource, and then also it will be easier for Steamians to recommend Steam to their friends.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, I did mention the competition at the start of the show when you weren't there yet. And again, thank you, I mean, to you, to Anomad Solve, Steam Onboarding, to Block Trades for this whole event. It was amazing. And we were just happy to see the amount of wonderful videos we got. And yeah, unfortunately, we just rewarded one with the major upvotes, but we did give out 100 AFIT tokens to everyone who contributed. So yeah, we're just super excited for this.
Oh, that's so great. I didn't even know that you gave the 100 out to everyone that participated. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really excited to see how many great entries there were. I know we went back and forth quite a bit, being like, oh, who should we pick?
Oh,
like,
absolutely. It was a pain, man.
I know, and I wasn't actually expecting there to be that many, because, you know, right now, you know, as we all know, like when we're in a bear market, there's less engagement and fewer people. And so to see like that many people come out and really put a lot of effort in to make a video was really encouraging, you know? And so the other thing that I thought was cool too, is because I always like feel not like bad, but when I'm like, oh, there can only be one winner. But like when you think about it, you know, like a lot of people posted to DTube, and DTube has been very generous in voting a lot of those entries, and Block Trades offered votes for everyone. You guys offered, you know, those AFIT tokens. And so I think that everyone probably that entered had a good experience, I would hope, you know.
Yeah, I would say that. And we're really happy. I mean, once you see so much engagement, I mean, you cannot but say thank you, really, in so many ways. And I'm glad we didn't even need to pick another winner, because that would have been another chaos. I mean, one winner would be more than enough. Okay, let's move on.
Right. And the nice thing is now you have like all of these great promotional videos, right? And so, because part of the disclaimer for the contest was that, you know, we're able to use the content for promotional purposes, blah, blah, blah. And so I bet it would probably, as, you know, as a founder of a project, it's probably fun to see all these people make posts talking about your product, right? So that was fun for you too.
Absolutely. And yeah, we will be using some of those. I mean, many, not only the winner, because we did see different great content in each of the videos. So we'll be using more than one, just to maybe tackle different aspects. I mean, some of them were more in-depth tutorials, others were more fun and just brief and brisk. And so yeah, we'll be using many of those on social media. So yeah, that was really great. And how are the other? I mean, you guys are running even contests for different dApps on Steam, right?
Yeah. So just to like back up and give everyone like a little broader overview of what we're doing with these contests is we have 3 different types of videos that are going to be featured on the Steam onboarding site. So the first one are the learning modules, which we are making available in as many languages as we can. We currently have 10 languages on the site. And so we're going to be expanding that to additional languages as we're developing. So we've got the language videos and the tutorials, which we're doing in-house. Like we're partnering with people like Travel Girl and Ramen Girl and Eve Cab and like all these different people to make videos in their own native language. And then the second type of video that we're going to be featuring are communities. And so like Steam It Mamas, Vegans of Steam It, Exhaust, like just, I don't know, like whatever it is, like whoever's got a community where it's not necessarily a dApp, but it's more like open mic, right? And so we're asking the community leaders to make videos for that, or, you know, administrators or whatever. And by the way, if you're listening to this and you are part of a community, we're definitely still looking. We only have about 12 videos from communities so far, so we are definitely looking to gather more of that. So definitely talk to me afterwards if you are listening to this and you're part of a community. But then the third type of video is we want to have videos that are introducing these new Steamians to dApps and the various dApps. And so the point is to just have a quick, like less than 5-minute video that explains what the DApp is, gives them enough information on how to use it to get involved. So there'll be written text underneath as well, like here's their Discord, here's the download link, here's what, whatever information is applicable, because we know that that's an area of confusion. We're like, okay, so it's Steemit, but then there's all this other things. How do I get involved? So hopefully we'll help them, say, oh, I'm interested in fitness. What is there? Or I'm interested in this. What is that? And so we thought about a few different ways to make these videos, like, like asking certain people to make them. But then we just thought it'd be kind of more fun to do a contest series for each DApp, where the community can make it. And then hopefully we get the best product possible for the site, but then also we're building hopefully some momentum and excitement through the contest for that particular DApp. Like maybe.
And you guys are really doing that. I mean, it's clear with the level of contribution and engagement, you successfully did a lot of engagement with that event.
Yeah, and so we've done some already. Like we did one for Fundition and different things, different various DApps already. We have one going for eSteam right now. I'm going to be running a DTube one soon, which I'm sure will be tons of videos, because that's, all the video creators will see that. But yeah, we just thought that'd be kind of a fun thing to do, and we're really grateful to have Block Trades get behind it, because that obviously that obviously helps a lot, right? Like when you've got
an additional motivation.
Exactly. Yeah. That definitely helps with the amount of entries we get. And Shadows Pub, the Ramble, yes, would love to get a video to add to our community page for the Ramble. That would be fantastic.
I actually think she wrote this earlier about the communities part. I don't know, or maybe about a video. I don't know. So whichever works.
Yeah. We should. Shadows Pub. Let's talk later and get something worked out. We actually had a chance to meet in Toronto.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were at the conference.
Wow.
The Steam Creators Conference in Toronto last year. That was awesome.
Lucky you guys. I mean, one day we're gonna hopefully I'll get to meet everyone who's here on The Voice, and you guys absolutely would love to do that. Hopefully maybe next Steam Fest, I don't know.
I know, I'm so curious to see where it will be. I've heard a lot of rumors of Asia, but who knows? I know that I don't think they're ever going to do one in the US, is kind of what I've heard, because it's more difficult for people that live in Europe and Asia to travel to the US versus people to travel the other way. And you're over in the UK, right? Or where?
No, I'm actually in the Middle East. I'm in Lebanon.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's easier for me not to travel to the US. It's a very long trip.
Yeah. I know. I think it took me 23 hours to get to Poland, so it was definitely a little bit of a trek.
Oh my.
But totally worth it. I mean, it's beautiful. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with Steam Fest 4 and where they decide to go. Mexico would be a fun one. I'm kind of rooting for Mexico. Let's catch some sunshine.
Cool. Okay, so Leah, let's talk more about your Actifit journey. I mean, how did you get to know about the project? What caught your eye with that?
So I think for me, I like the idea of like there being a little bit more accountability with like holding myself to certain goals. And so one of the things that I like, kind of a rule I've set for myself just to motivate me to get more steps in is I'm like, okay, I can only post my thing to Steam if I get at least 5,000 steps in a day. And I know that's just my own rule, but there's certainly been days, because I work at a desk job, so it's like, you know what I mean? I'm not totally like active throughout the day. I try to take walks and maybe go for runs sometimes, but I'm always surprised how many days I'm like at about 4,000. So there's been tons of days where I have actually gone for an extra walk just so that I can post it. And so like that was because of Actifit, right?
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, and so I think that gamifying things a little bit like makes it kind of fun. You know, and then there's certain days where I like hit over 10, but I'm, you know, if I said I couldn't post unless I hit 10,000, maybe I should. I'd probably be more active, but I probably never post. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on. We love seeing more than 10.
I know. You've got some amazing people on your leaderboard. I'm like, what did they do all day? Did they just, are they
You
walking
can
all
just
day?
ask them. They're actually on the call. You can see Blue Angels here, Rogerine. I don't know who else. For Practical Eric, I see some of those people who get 40 and 50K per day sometimes.
What do you guys do? You guys have to let me know. You must literally just like walk all day. It's pretty amazing.
They do. They do. I mean, I'm certain that's what at least Blue Angel and Rogerine, they just keep walking all the time. And by the way, your purpose, I mean, just to post when you get a 5K, I mean, yeah, posting less than that is fine, but you set it properly. Just the minimum for Activate is really to get rewarded is the 5K. So if you post less than that, you would be just putting a record for yourself, but it's not really the reward. And that's what we did with Activate, is just to make sure people reach a minimum amount to really get rewarded.
Yeah, and I think that's great. And you know, maybe for myself, once I'm like always easily hitting 5K, like maybe I'll bump that to 7. Like for my own personal goals, it's just it is kind of nice to have like certain goals you're trying to reach.
Oh, absolutely.
I've loved seeing the development that you guys have had with ActifitApr. Like now you can upload a photo, which is awesome. And like, you know, you guys, I don't have a Fitbit, I use an Apple Watch, but like you guys integrate with Fitbit. And like there's, like it's been really fun to see the regular development. You know, I feel like it's never too long before I see new features and new things added. So that's been really kind of fun to watch as I've been using the app too.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We're trying. I mean, sometimes we update the website. Sometimes we update the app. Sometimes we create new functionality, different functionality. So I was just telling the guys that we just made an update on the website to enable moving AFIT tokens from Steam Engine back to the Actifit.io. Yeah, we keep trying to keep things active, and to be honest, I mean, most of the development is done by myself, unless it's really the iOS where I cannot. I don't know coding in iOS, and it's just too much pain to learn it, and I cannot do everything. I mean, it's just too cumbersome to code and to manage things. And while we're preparing for the different IOs we're trying to do and the marketing campaigns, and so we try to manage as much as possible. And hopefully, once we raise more funds, we'll be able to put in more developers to help with the project. But yeah, I mean, the feedback we got from the community is just like you're saying, Leah. Thank you for that. It's, I mean, we're just humbled with the positive feedback we get, and this is what keeps us going. To be honest, I mean, just seeing how people are happy and excited with the project is what keeps Actifit going. So thank you, and thank you to everyone here.
Yeah, and it's just fun to be part of like the early stages of a project too. Like I think there's a certain excitement with that, and I think that a lot of us that are here on Steam, like it's fun to jump in and try some of the different dApps and things that are being built. And I mean, you guys are really like, I mean, one of the only ones that are like kind of fitness related. And I've always like, I remember when I first joined, I was surprised that it's more of like a health and fitness type of community on the site. I was really surprised by that because that's such a massive industry, and it's something not just that it's a big industry, but it impacts like all of us. Like you know, all of us at some point, you know, think about our health and fitness and what, you know what I mean. And so it's I'm really glad to see how Actifit has brought more of that kind of conversation and more of that type of content to Steam as well.
Yeah. Well, great to hear. Yeah, I'm not sure if you had heard the story behind Actifit. Is that was actually a personal experiment for myself to motivate myself to be more active. So
that's awesome.
yeah, so it actually turned into something whereby I think I can help everyone to just do that and live healthier, and here we are.
Oh, that's so fun. I love that. That's a good story.
Yeah. So I did see some of your recent videos about fasting. So you've been experimenting with that. And tell us actually a little bit more about how you started, or you started trying out a healthier lifestyle. Well, have you been into that for a long while?
You know, it's kind of an interesting story because I would say I've been into health and fitness for like a really long time. Like in terms of like I used to run like 6 days a week, and I was like really active.
Wow.
And then about 3 years ago, I got in a car accident, and I like someone rear-ended me, and it really messed with my neck, and I
Ouch.
couldn't.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's okay, but it set me back so much because it was about like 8 or 9 months where I was not cleared to do any kind of workout, really.
Yeah.
And I just like, even though it was like already like 2, 3 years ago, whatever it was, I've never really fully gotten back to that same like level of fitness. I've been really like shocked at like how much, once I like really got out of the habit for a solid period of time, like how hard it was for me to get back to it. And so I really started focusing on like my nutrition a little bit more, because I was like, okay, I'm having a hard time really motivating myself to work out.
Yeah.
I'm gaining weight, so maybe I should look at my food, you know, because
My
before
food, yeah.
I hadn't really, I was like, pizza, whatever, like, you know. And also, you know, as you get a little bit older, you have to, you don't metabolize things quite as quickly as you used to.
Oh, come on, we're all 20.
Right. And so, so that's been kind of a fun journey, like just to see where, like, at first I kind of cut out mostly gluten, and then I started cutting like sugar a little bit more, and then I started cutting more like carbs and just kind of eating less dairy. And so it's been an interesting progression of just trying different things over the last like year or two. And it's been good. I mean, the one thing for myself though is and this is like kind of my curse as well, is I don't like rules. Like, I'm really bad with rules, even of myself, being like, oh, you can't eat this. I'm like, watch me. Yes, I can. Yes, Blue Angel. Oh,
You're
my
defying
gosh,
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. No, I totally do. It must be my personality type or something. And so, like, I really do just, you know, if I'm like in the mood for pizza, I just do it. I'm just like, whatever. But yeah, generally speaking, like trying to eat really clean, like more whole foods is kind of where I'm at right now. Like, you know, like last night I like roasted a whole chicken and had like a whole big pan of broccoli, and like that was my dinner. And, you know, so just trying to eat more just like clean whole foods. 'Cause I feel like that even like helps me save money too, because when you're not buying like all the boxes of crackers and cookies, like all those things have such a markup. Like if someone had to spend time turning something into something else and preparing it, like you're paying for that, you know what I mean? And so so yeah, eating more whole foods has been really good. But yeah, one of actually kind of my latest thing that I've been trying, which I've always, like I said, I hate rules, so I've never wanted to count calories before, but I have been trying that, and it was really eye-opening because I was eating clean. I had no idea, like,
Really?
how much I was consuming. I was like, holy crap! Like, olive oil really starts to add up. You know what I mean? Like all of that. And so, so that's been kind of fun, just to like. I never, like I said, hold myself to strict rules, but I'm kind of like, oh, this is information. You know what I mean? Like, this is just so. Yeah, I guess like to sum it up. Sorry, that was kind of a long story, but.
I know, go ahead, please.
In general, just kind of experimenting and seeing what works, you know, because I'm looking for things that are going to be more of like lifestyle changes where it doesn't feel like I'm on a diet per se, because I would never want to feel that way. Like, I want to feel like excited about the food I'm eating, because I'm a total foodie. And so just experimenting.
Oh, aren't we all? I mean, don't preach.
Yeah.
We love food, but I guess, I mean, it's just maybe changing every now and then what you're eating, and maybe just trying to eat healthier. And you always have cheat days, and you can cheat whenever those cheat days are in, except unless if they're every day, that could be some trouble if you're cheating every day.
I know, I have such a sweet tooth, and so if there's cookies around, I'm like,
Yeah.
And I kind of
We
find, oh, go ahead, sorry.
we actually have a newborn. So my wife we had a new baby like a couple of weeks back, and we have like all those chocolate set up for people and the visitors who are coming here. So every time I look at that chocolate and I say, okay, I'm gonna pick up one more, and then okay, let's just keep some for the visitors.
Right? I know, right? You're like, oh, I guess we have to go buy more chocolate. I like the peanut butter comment here. You can go on a whole weekend with a jar of peanut butter. Oh my gosh, so true. I love
Yeah,
peanut butter.
absolutely. I mean, who doesn't?
See, my vice is I'm not good with moderation. So like, some people can eat like one cookie or one square of chocolate, like the whole
Yeah.
box is gone. So.
Yeah. I'm a very much of a chocolate lover myself.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, guys, this is a health and fitness radio show. So what the message we should actually be saying, don't consume all of those. Just avoid all the unhealthy stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know if you found this to be true for you, but one thing that I definitely find to be true for me is that once I kind of like break like kind of my healthy whatever for the day,
Mhm.
I like, it's so much easier to eat more crap. So once I'm like, okay, I've already eaten unhealthy today, I'm like, day shot, whatever, and I like eat all of it. You know what I mean?
It
And
does
so,
grow on you, absolutely. Yeah, I get that. I get that. And even with the sports, I mean, once you're away from sports, it would be difficult, like you said. So that's why I think, I mean, someone should always put for themselves target that they can keep going for a very long time. Otherwise, breaking the rule would just lead to worse situation than you were before.
so I have a question for Batman here because I see you've left a couple comments about like walking more, which I think is awesome. Like, what do you like? Do you have any recommendations for like people that maybe are super busy and don't like? I mean, I'm sure you are as well. Like everyone's busy, but like at work, I have to like stay at my desk. You know what I mean? Like I can stand, and I guess I could start walking in place more. Or if I'm like making content or like editing videos or doing things, like I can maybe try to walk in place or something. Like you said, there's a few people in this chat right now that get a crazy amount of steps in right now. So I want to know what you guys do.
Yeah, those would be great suggestions. I mean, I would look forward for some ideas. And I mean, to me, probably looking at my ActiFit score throughout the day really helps. I mean, if I put for myself the target and let's say a minimum of 5,000 or actually the target of 10K, and I haven't done that, I would every 10 minutes just go work around a bit. Sometimes I do my meetings actually while walking, the conference calls and all those things. I do them while walking if I haven't done or reached my target within the day. That kind of helps, at least for me.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've done that before, but oftentimes I need to like be behind my screens to like look up things and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I like the treadmill desk suggestion. I've heard mixed things on those, so I'm curious. Is it Quitter? Is that how you say? Anyway, like I'm curious if you have one, if you've enjoyed it. But yeah, that would be fun. I should just bring one into work and just let everyone
Yeah,
else
I've
deal with
heard
it.
of standing desks and all those different things. Yeah, I haven't tried them, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, anything that works might be worthy of a shot.
Totally. Yeah. I have a standing desk and I love it. I do love it. It's really nice. Like just to like just for better back alignment during the day because it's
Uh-huh.
super easy to hunch over. You know what I mean? When you're
Yeah.
sitting. And I even have like an exercise ball I sit on versus a chair, and I still notice myself hunching on that, and I'm like, oh man.
Ah. Yeah, let's see. Batman sent you an advice actually. If you say went to the grocery store into town, try walking away will take you a little longer. If you don't have much time, try going for a fast sprint around the block, small things like walking around the garden. That is good advice, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. And that's something I could probably start focusing more on is like those micro moments in the day. You know what I mean? Like, I think
Yeah.
I go in waves of being good about that. But like, I'm working from home today, and so if I'm working from home, I have like a few more options. But if I have like 5 minutes between meetings or like calls or something, I might just do like a minute and a half plank and then just do some jumping jacks, or just like taking advantage of those little moments in the day, because like you're saying, Batman, they all kind of add up. Like just go for a quick walk, go for a quick sprint. So that's good advice, and that's something I could get a little bit better at, I think.
And Batman actually doesn't have a problem with walking because he's got Gotham to look after, as Shadows Pop says.
That was so great. Oh my gosh. Can always count on you, Shadow, for a good witty comment.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, planking's good. Blue Angel. Blue Angel is actually famous for his Twitter planks. He does tons of them. I think he's over 100 or 150 days now.
Oh,
So that is a
wow.
great streak. Yeah,
Oh, that's
absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah, we have some amazing community here. Lots of people doing some amazing stuff. We're so happy to see all of those activity, especially on Twitter as well. And there's the 777 campaign that's happening by Nathan Morse, and we are seeing some awesome stuff happening there. So thank you for everyone who's joining in.
Yeah, Twitter is such a great way to like connect as well. You know what I mean? Because I feel like so many crypto people are on Twitter, and so it's not only good exposure for Steam, but I feel like it's just one more kind of fun point of connection that you can have with your fellow Steamians, you know, besides just posts and comments and things like that too.
Absolutely, and it gets the message out. I mean, people will get to learn about Steam, learn about the activity concept in Steam and ActifIt, and I think it's tackling the area that many people just know that they should be focusing on, and they just don't have the incentive or the willingness to just move and get active. And I hope with what we're doing here and what's happening is that this helps people and bring them on board. All right, and before we conclude, I mean, I just want to learn a bit about the singer aspect of Leia and the ukulele. And do you play other devices, the other instruments? Do you sing often, or is it just on the open mic?
Yeah, no, good question. So actually, it's super interesting because music has been a massive part of my Steam journey, but also just like my life in general. So I definitely don't claim to be like that good. I'd say I'm like fairly mediocre in like all ways.
No, you're good. I mean, I heard that recording a couple of days back. It was amazing.
But what's been kind of fun, so I grew up in a house of music. Like I have a ton of siblings, and it was required, like my mom made us all take piano lessons and then learn another instrument. And so so we have like a little, like, we could have a family band if we wanted, but so I
the Jacksons.
Right, I know exactly. So I grew up like playing the piano and then the flute, actually. So kind of a band nerd. I was like in high school, I was like the first chair, and I went to all these like state competitions for flute and like nerdy random stuff, which I don't really like play the flute that often. I actually, every once in a while, I will. It's kind of fun. Like I did a collab video recently with a drummer for Game of Thrones, and we did a
oh my God, you got a link? Do you have a link of that? Just send it on chat right away.
Yeah, let me find it. We posted it right after the, we actually like, we're such nerds, but we did a Game of Steam spoof, and actually ActifitApr is on there. So him playing the drums and me playing the flute to do the intro music and the intro video for Game of Thrones. And then instead of like Westeros in different spots, I overlaid different Steam app photos.
Wow.
So like
my God.
Full on like nerd explosion in a post. So here, let me grab the link. So I like using my flute for stuff like that. Or like I did a Super Mario cover once because like it's just like for more like kind of fun stuff like that. Or like for May the 4th last year I did, I like put my hair in like Princess Leia buns and did like a Star Wars cover or like flute. And then like for St. Patty's Day, I did like a little jig. My sister plays the violin, and so we did like a flute and violin duet to like an Irish song. And like, so I don't play my flute that often anymore, but it's kind of a fun, like, I feel like I use it for my more like nerdier things. You know?
That is, I mean, that's really sick. I mean, it's amazing. I just love seeing those, especially with covers. It's just wonderful. I forgot which one I actually I saw one a couple of days back. What was it?
Oh, I did La Vie en Rose on the ukulele.
Yeah. That one. Yeah, from the How I Met Your Mother.
Yes. And so I originally, like, one of the very first posts I ever did was to join the open mic on Steam. And so that's kind of how I started. And so I had like months and months and months where the only thing I posted was music. Like, that was all I did. And then I decided after a while that like I wanted to get more involved in the community and maybe contribute more than like just entertainment value. And so I started vlogging and just making videos, like talking, you know, about whatever. So that was kind of my journey. So it was very, very heavy on music for quite a while, and then kind of expanded. And then I was doing like about 50-50 music and vlogging. And then lately I just haven't been making as much music, so I need to get back and do it. But yeah.
Well, that is all amazing, really, Kate, Leah. We're so excited to have had you tonight for the show. Any ending words for our listeners tonight?
I just want to say that it was great to hang out and chat with you guys. This has been a really fun group. And if any of you guys, like I mentioned earlier, are like community leaders and like want to get involved in Steam onboarding, just reach out to me. Also, if any of you are video content creators, we are going to be continuing to host quite a few more contests for different dApps. So if you want to throw your name in the hat, it's been awesome. Like I said, even for those who didn't win a contest, Block Trades is giving out votes even just for entering, and even like,
so make sure to participate.
Yeah, it's good. And like, it's funny because I never like asked YouTube if they would vote entries, but they've been voting most of them. It's been awesome. So like, there's definitely, I would say, like, it's been a good, it's just been kind of a fun momentum. So just keep an eye out on, if you like making videos, on my page and a Nomad Souls page, because over the next month or so, we're going to be just hosting various contests, just like we did with you guys on ActifitApr.
That's just amazing, really. And Kate, again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure just getting to know the over 1,000 things you do. And like someone asked, how many hours does your day have? So yeah, thanks again. And we're just not through. We still have the usual contents we have for our show. So let me just copy and paste the question. And as usual, the person who answers, actually the first 3 who answer correctly, will win 50 AFIT token each. So let me just paste that question and the options, and here we go. So what was the total amount of AFIT distributed at the ISO event? Was it 240, 120, 50? Okay, so we got all the correct answers here. Let me just see who the first 3 are. So we got 1 alpha. Hey, 1 alpha, well done. The streak has been broken, so we have 1 alpha today as the first winner, and then Rogerine and Blue Angel, as always. So congrats to all 3 of you guys. I'll be sending you the 50 AFIT tokens shortly. Yeah, SIM card, sorry you didn't need it tonight. Again, thank you everyone so much for joining in tonight. I wish you all a good day, good evening, good night, and we'll be seeing you next week at the same time. You take care, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.